If your Capricorn moon is in the 12th house and you have an Aquarius rising, I'm willing to bet that you are someone who deep down wants to be recognized for their discipline and their achievements, but instead you feel like you're constantly seen for your unique individuality or open-mindedness to accept everyone else. If that resonates for you, watch this video where I'm going to break down everything that you need to know about having your moon in the 12th house in Capricorn, along with having an Aquarius rising. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel and today we are talking about what it means to have your Capricorn moon in 12th house along with an Aquarius rising. So if you have this combination of placements, watch on. In this video specifically, I'll be covering what an Aquarius rising means, what it means to have your moon in Capricorn, what it means to have a moon in 12th house, what it means to have your moon in Capricorn and in 12th house, and most importantly, what it means to have this combination of moon in Capricorn in 12th house along with an Aquarius rising, because I personally don't use the rising that often when it comes to astrological interpretations for personality. I do use them a lot when it comes to transits and understanding what house each planet is in. But in this case, when we're talking about the moon sign, and especially the moon in 12th house, this actually plays a really big role, because the rising sign, in short, is our instant appearance. It's what people naturally tend to see us as. The theory is that it's our persona, and some people resonate with it more than others. And if you have your moon in the 12th house, it is very likely that the contrast between how you initially appear to people versus how you deep down want to be seen and what you feels like your core nature is going to be a harder bridge to cross. And with having a 12th house moon, what this means is whatever sign it's in this case Capricorn, this part of yourself that you deep down want to be seen as, because the moon acts as our emotional inner child, is going to be something you're maybe a little more unconscious of. So to even recognize what it is you want to be seen as in the first place can feel harder to bring to light. But there's a few different interpretations for this, because this could also mean that you do genuinely want to keep this part of yourself to yourself. So I want to break that all down in this video. But before we dive into the Aquarius rising and go through what it means to have your moon in 12th house and in Capricorn, all that good stuff, be sure to book a reading in the link in the description below if you want to learn more about your unique astrological birth chart as well as your unique personality type combination. So not only do we cover astrology in these readings, but Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, numerology, you name it, we can cover it all. We can also just focus on your chart. So any and everything, sky's the limit with these readings. Book in the link in the description below. And of course, if you are someone who wants to learn more about your moon sign, I have a moon sign self-care workbook that you can access along with 3 other astrology workbooks, soon to be 4, soon to be 5. I'm constantly adding to this bundle, the astrology bundle, in the link in the description below. The moon sign self-care workbook goes through all 12 moon signs that you can have, and eventually I will be doing a section covering what it means to have with houses as well. But this moon sign self-care workbook goes through each sign, gives you guys self-care checklists, a summary, self-reflection prompts, journal prompts. There's so much more. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can take a look at what these worksheets look like. If you want to learn more about your moon sign and you want to actually proactively use your moon sign for your growth and for your self-care, the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook is something you will enjoy. So check it out in the link in the description below. You can get it solo or you can access it in the astrology bundle for half price along with other astrology workbooks. It's an insane deal. It's ridiculously stupid that I probably list it for this low of a price, but get it now while the price is lowest, because I'm sure as I add more workbooks to this bundle, the price is only going to rise. And when you get the bundle at this price, you'll also get access to any new workbooks I add for free. So check it out now. Get the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook, get the astrology bundle, access all workbooks, including the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook. So let's dive into the good stuff. Let's first talk about what it means to have an Aquarius rising. What does it mean to have your rising in the sign of Aquarius? Once again, the rising sign is simply our immediate appearance. It's also said to be how we generally perceive the world. So in the case of having a rising sign of Aquarius, which I'm very familiar with because my sister has this, you tend to see the world potentially through a lens of individuality. You see things through the lens of how can I remain detached and appreciative of everyone? How can I remain neutral and balanced without being disassociated? Generally, those who have an Aquarius rising tend to appear a bit in their aura, detached and logical, truly like an Aquarius in the sense that they're an air sign and they are all about innovation and analysis. And so these people can have a cool, calm demeanor to them. However, their actual physical appearance can oftentimes be a bit eccentric, given that airy Aquarius Aries. I almost said the wrong one there. Words aren't working today. If you have an Aquarius rising, these people, given that Aquarius is all about individuality and innovation, these people tend to be a bit eccentric at some point in the way that they dress. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be wearing giant fur coats or giant crazy patterns or statement pieces, though that can definitely be the case. But generally, Aquarius is going to, as a rising sign, have something that they're going to consider a bit quirky or odd about their style. So generally, the Aquarius rising, though, in the end, is someone who's initially seen as someone who's calm, detached, innovative. These are people who appear to be very level-headed, and they seem to be very accepting of other people. They seem to appreciate other people, and they definitely have a strong sense of their own individuality. Now, granted, they don't maybe feel strong in their individuality, but these people appear to be very much centered in who they are and appreciative and keeping open space for other people to embody who they are. So there's this welcoming or open energy with an Aquarius rising. And I will put a summary over the screen of what I personally believe an Aquarius rising appears as, but generally, Aquarius rising means you appear like an Aquarius, you appear like an innovator, you appear detached, you appear calm, you maybe appear a bit disassociated or maybe a bit eccentric. Now let's talk about what it means to have your moon in Capricorn and moon in 12th house. When you have a moon in 12th house, you are someone whose emotions and how you deeply want to be seen become unconscious or something you want to keep to yourself. The moon is our emotions, but with that, it is like our inner child. And so deep down, when we get close to people, we want to be able to embrace our moon sign energy, so to say. And more on this later when we talk about the moon in Capricorn. But when this is in the 12th house, what this means is your way in which you want to appear with people when you trust them is something you're unconscious of. You may embrace this, but you're not aware that you're embracing this. On the other hand, what this means with the moon in 12th house is that you are someone who maybe wants to keep this a bit more to yourself. The 12th house is the house of the unconscious, but it's also simply just a house of solitude. And so you maybe feel more comfortable embracing this part of yourself when you are alone. Having a moon in 12th house also means that you are someone who maybe prefers to keep their emotions to themselves or is unaware of their emotions. And with the moon in Capricorn, you're emotionally driven by the desire to succeed and have a disciplined way of living. So it's not necessarily that the moon in Capricorn is always the most driven person who's trying to make $1 million, but these people feel like they're emotionally fulfilled by having clear goals and achievements that they're working towards. If anything, these people simply just need to feel that they are trying to succeed at something, whether that's a creative passion, their job, or in their home life. These people need to feel that they are striving for something and achieving something. Discipline is very important to them, and so they need to feel like they have clear linear paths to achieve what they desire. So the moon in Capricorn is someone who feels emotionally fulfilled by getting to be Capricorn-esque, which plays out as for personally achieving goals, striving, being disciplined. But this also means that when they feel closest to people, when they feel safe with them, they're going to appear more Capricorn-like in the sense that they may be more disciplined or critical appearing or practical with those who they trust the most. They maybe feel like they have to appear differently, which we'll get to in a minute on the Aquarius rising. But when they feel that they truly trust someone and they can open up, they actually let themselves show their inner authoritative nature. So these people, when they get close to others or when they can trust them, they may actually be a little bit more serious. They feel like they can say, okay, I want to make this happen. Let's be more disciplined. I'm committed to this. Let's stay on it. Let's get it. This basically intense nature to them, they usually keep underneath the surface, but when they allow themselves to trust or when they feel that they can trust someone, they're going to be more goal-oriented, more ambitious, more driven. They're going to show people their driven side, their critical side, the side of them that pushes themselves harder. Again, I will be putting a summary over the screen of what it means to have a moon in Capricorn as well as a moon in 12th house, but also what does it mean simply just to have your moon in 12th house in Capricorn? What does this combination mean? With a moon in Capricorn and in 12th house, this means that you're someone who's unconsciously driven by the desire to succeed, and you may have a lot of inner pressure on yourself that you're unaware of. So everything that I said about the moon in Capricorn applies. What this means, though, with it being in 12th house is simply that this is either unconscious or something you want to do on your own. You're not the kind of person who wants to share your goals maybe with other people. You'd rather keep them to yourself, and you do oftentimes have more success achieving your goals and staying disciplined when you are in solitude. These people need a lot of quiet time and alone time to achieve their goals. And that's not to say that they don't appreciate other people's company, but this means more so that they are going to want to apply this disciplinary nature, apply this practical nature, this goal-oriented nature, this ambitious and driven nature in solitude on their own. These people in the end also, like I said, on the unconscious end, maybe struggle a bit more with recognizing that their need for success changes how they're emotionally balanced. So if these people feel like they're failing in life or failing in a field that's important to them, they may appear emotionally volatile, but are unaware of it given that their emotions are something they're unconscious of. So what does this mean to have this placement, this moon in Capricorn in 12th house with an Aquarius rising? I think this is very important to note if you have this placement for your relationships with other people, in the sense that, like I said in the intro, you're naturally going to be someone who's seen as individualistic, eccentric, innovative, not necessarily caring about all this practicality and success, but deep down, this is actually one of the most important things to you. Having a rising in an air sign makes you appear like someone who just values socialization or innovation or thinking or ideas. And yes, this is partially true. You love ideas. You love to innovate. You really care just in the end about how you mentally feel. But with a Capricorn moon, you actually have a high pressure and desire to succeed. You have a desire for achievements, but instead you feel like everyone just sees you for your mindset, for your thoughts, when really you want to deep down be recognized for your achievements. In the end, a moon in Capricorn, while they personally care about achieving their goals, to some degree, we all want to be seen for our moon. And so when the moon in Capricorn is keeping all this achievement and drive to themselves naturally, with being so reserved as a 12th house moon, they can feel like they're never seen for the fact that they are hardworking or that they are achieving. A good example of this is I have a friend of mine who has a moon in Capricorn, and granted, it is not in her 12th house, but when I met her as a Taurus with lots of Gemini energy, she seemed just super chill and laid back and friendly and social. I had no idea she had all this pressure on herself to succeed. And it isn't until years later into our friendship that I see this driven side of her, and she feels so much more recognized and comfortable in our relationship now that she knows that I see this driven side to her. So moon in Capricorn has an inner drive, and with it being in the 12th house, it's even harder for these people to make this part of themselves seen that is so driven. Naturally, with being an Aquarius rising, it means that you're going to be seen for your individuality, your view of life, really, in the end. You view life through the lens of individuality and humanity. You're always, in a sense, appearing to other people as thinking about the bigger picture, or having unique ideas, or always having an individualistic perspective, which sets you apart and makes you seem very different. But then you also feel like, what's the point in being different if I'm not being seen for the fact that I'm actually trying to be the best? And that's why I really want to be different, is because I'm working harder than everyone else. There is a bit of that mentality there. You feel like you're applying high levels of discipline that you're not being seen for. So it's very important in the end for the moon in Capricorn in 12th house with an Aquarius rising to take a few key factors I'm blanking on the word. There's a few things that a moon in Capricorn in 12th house should note with an Aquarius rising to set themselves up for success and avoid frustration. And again, really all these tips I'm about to share are going to come back to my moon sign self-care workbook, so you can check that out in the link in the description below, or check out the pages again here. But if you have a moon in 12th house in Capricorn, you're going to naturally be more reserved about your successes, and you need to observe how much or what successes you actually want to be seen for. And also remember the fact that you are naturally, no matter what, to some degree, going to initially be seen as more Aquarian. You're going to be seen as cool, calm, detached, level-headed. And this is a gift to embrace, because you know how to make people feel accepted with your neutral energy, and you know how to be appreciated for your individualistic perspective on things. But when you get closer in relationships, it's important that you feel that you're recognized for your success-driven nature, your disciplined nature, and the fact that you have goals. So this can be a bit hard for a moon in Capricorn to open up to share these, especially in 12th house, but simply just letting people know, like, hey, I have these goals, I want to talk about my goals, would be very important. Or even too, making sure you give yourself the recognition for the fact that you're achieving your goals, given the fact that this is a 12th house placement. Naturally, these people do want to keep their goals to themselves and their disciplines. And it is possible that while you want to be recognized by others for this achievement, you actually just need the recognition from yourself the most. So recognizing the fact that you do have this driven nature, that you are being disciplined, could be the simplest little step that you need to take. But in the end, a moon in Capricorn in 12th house does have to make sure that they are feeling recognized to some degree somewhere by someone, if it's themselves, for their disciplined nature, for their ambitious nature, and just noting how and where they're going to apply this. So asking yourself or writing out, who sees me as an Aquarius more, my Aquarius rising, and who do I feel seen more for my Capricorn nature, and writing out a list of who it is. Maybe it's your friends, maybe it's in your job, maybe it's in your family life, knowing where you're going to get that fulfillment. And if you're writing a list and you feel like people are only seeing me for my Aquarius nature and that's causing frustration, think about how you can start talking about your goals more, or share your ambitions. Or maybe probably the best approach for you is knowing that you're a 12th house moon in Capricorn. These people don't necessarily want to talk as much about their goals. They just want someone to see that they have goals. So maybe it'd be inviting someone for coffee for a focus hour where you guys do your work together, and then you feel like you're literally being seen working, doing what you love, knowing that they're seeing that you're driven. This could be more of a beneficial approach for a moon in Capricorn in 12th house. So once again, I will put a summary over the screen on what it means to have an Aquarius rising with a moon in 12th house in Capricorn. But let me know in the comments below, did this video help you understand what it means to have this combination? What did I miss about this combination? What thoughts do you have? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. This will be a part of a new series I hopefully finish on what it means to have your moon in 12th house in a specific sign with a specific rising. So I will hopefully be going through all of those. Let me know what questions you have in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos. Also, while you're down there leaving that comment, be sure to book a reading, check out my astrology course, and get the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook. Once again, the Moon Sign Self-Care Workbook goes through all 12 zodiac signs. And again, you can get access to not only this workbook, but multiple other workbooks in the astrology bundle. I'm always adding more to it. So I could summarize what's in it now, but I'm sure that's going to change over time. So just check it out in the link in the description below and get more information on what astrology workbooks are in the bundle as of now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, my name's Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste. If you have this combination of placements, 12th house and in Capricorn, all that good stuff, be sure to... My voice totally cracked there.